bottle of rum. What's up, my people? Let's just get straight into it. It's gonna be a little recap of the week, a recap of the trades we took. Let's start with the pairs that I said I was gonna trade this week, which was CHF JPY and AUD JPY. Now, if you go back to watch that video on Monday, I would clip it in here, honestly, but I don't really care, to be honest. I'm just not gonna do that right now. But if you go back to the video that I said on or sent out on Monday, it was the video that I was talking about how the JPY pairs, specifically JPY pairs, a lot of the times tank at the beginning of the month. Now, I didn't know it was going to go this far down, I'm going to be real, but I knew it was going to have probably a big drop. So yeah, everything kind of went according to plan. I didn't hold this trade all the way down there, unfortunately. I wish I would have, because I had actually, it might still be on the other CHF JPY. No, I guess I got rid of the RR tool, because I entered at like the very beginning of the, yeah, I entered like literally like right here, and my stop was above this. It came pretty close to getting back up there too, but if I had held this full trade, I mean, that's a 1 to 20. That's pretty insane. It might have been a little bit lower. Let's just say right there. Even if it was right there with a 70 pip stop, that would have been a 9 risk to reward in one trade, because it dropped 600 pips. There's a lot of reasons for this drop. One of the main reasons is because of all the news that was coming out, but also I believe the Bank of Japan is finally starting to talk about raising interest rates, not keeping them at negative interest rates, because they're finally realizing that it's destroying their money. So we'll see what the update is on that, because that could be a potential big reversal for this pair if they do end up going through with that. I'm still bullish on this whole thing, so it doesn't really matter. This is like a short-term move. Like I said, normally what ends up happening in almost all these pairs is they go down at the beginning of the month, and then you'll see a rise shortly after. So yeah, that's basically what's been cooking with that. And then we'll look at AUD JPY real quick, because it's pretty much the same thing. I did think this was gonna actually go up, which it went up a bit, but it was just for the pullback. I did think this one was gonna go up a bit just because of this little reversal right here. It goes up, gives us a nice little reversal, but it didn't come back. So yeah, so that's that one. Gave a nice little entry right there, but I wasn't even paying attention to it at that point. And at the end of the week, I was actually focused on USD CNH. It's actually been one of my favorite pairs as of recently, and I was actually short on this, but when I looked at it early last night, because this pair actually gives you most of the entries during Asian session, because it's a Chinese currency, so there's just a lot of stuff that happens at around Asian session. Won't give away the specific times, because there are specific times, hint hint. But anyway, yeah, again, on my broker, I'm glad I didn't like have a buy set up for this, because this right here would have gotten taken out on my broker. It gapped down, but there was a re-entry that you could have had on after the gap. So Yeah, that's just something I'm gonna have to watch out for, is these gaps that the broker keeps doing at the beginning of the next day. So if my stop loss is like really close by and I know the next day is coming, I'm more than likely just gonna close and just wait for the next day. But let's break down this trade. This was on my Instagram. By the way, guys, go follow me on Instagram, Baldwin_QLC. I'll put the link in the comments. It'll be a pinned comment. You guys can go follow me. I'll put my TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and also the Telegram. Y'all motherfuckers need to join the Telegram. That's where I'm at every single day. I only post Monday, Wednesday, Friday on here, but I post in Telegram and talking to everyone, or everyone that's in there every day. So, yeah, go join the Telegram. That's the best place to be. But so here's the thing. I wasn't sold on the fact that USD was going to be so strong this week. For the most part, it was strong. There were a few pairs where it wasn't, and really the only one I could see was actually JPY. But USD was actually very, very strong this week. And we'll go into a little bit of technicals right here on why I was short, but it was a short-term short. Ideally, if we go past this low right here and we close bearish, then I'm interested in actually like shorting it even further, but we never did that. So yeah, it just wasn't something that I was interested in super long term. So let's get into why this short made sense to me, because I had 2 attempts at it. I shorted right here, which got stopped out right here. And then I shorted it again the following day when this low was broken. So once this low was broken, I got an entry. It was somewhere in like here, I believe. And then my stop was above the high. And then we pretty much took it to the low. It was around right here. So I made a 1 to 2. And then I got out. So, and I got out almost at the very bottom as well. So that's like amazing. Now again, I started to see this happen. The new day started right here, even though on my broker it literally took this out. But I digress. It started right here, and we had perfect entries right here, and then we could have taken it up, but again, I kind of stayed out of NFP today just because of the fact that we'd already made good percentage. Yeah, we already made good percentage. I knew the numbers were going to be positive, though, because every single number this week was just trash. I mean, ISM was okay, but I knew the numbers were going to be positive because everything else had been trash. Not only that, for some reason, the technicals were in favor of USD, even though the numbers were trash. So that's why I say the fundamentals and the news events, sometimes they're not going to make sense. And you also have to understand that after major drops like this, and this is just USD CNH, after major drops like this, it's going to have some type of pullback normally. So you just have to be paying attention to that. Like I said, most of the time, honestly, I really believe like the news is kind of fabricated and they can fudge the numbers into whatever they want it to be to fit whatever narrative they need it to fit to push the price wherever they need it to push. So, and the reason I say that is because there's no way that USD should be strong with numbers like this. There's no way USD should be strong with unemployment numbers coming out worse than the forecast. Now, this makes sense. But again, the economy is absolute shit right now, so that's what I'm saying. They can just fudge the numbers to whatever they want, because they do it with inflation all the time. They're like, oh, inflation isn't that bad. Yeah, tell that to the average fucking person. But anyway, digress on that rant. Yeah, this was For me, this was definitely bullish, but like I said, we took the short-term short, and we could have went long, but we missed that opportunity. But we still made, I want to say, 4 to 5% this week. So really, really good week. Really, really good week. So I'm very happy with this week. Didn't need to trade anymore, and sometimes that's what you have to realize is if you're happy with your profits for the day, for the week, for the month, it doesn't mean that you need to keep trading. There's no reason to keep trading if you're perfectly happy and then risking your profits and the money that you've made. Now, if you've made a good percentage and you're perfectly happy risking 1%, then fuck yeah, go for it. But the thing is, the thing that I keep telling myself recently, and that I told myself in the past, that you can never go wrong with and will take you really, really far, is taking your profits. Take your profits. If you are happy with the money, if you saw my Instagram, like, made $4,000, that's a fuck ton of money for pretty much everybody. You know, most people don't even have a couple $1,000 in their bank account saved up because of bills and expenses, and everything's so expensive right now. If you see that money, don't be greedy and try to let the trade run for $20,000. If that happens, it happens. And if everything is lining up in your criteria, then that's perfectly fine. But just know that making a few percent is more than enough, and that's kind of the shift that you make as a trader or investor. Is not necessarily when you start thinking in terms of money. I think the best way to think in terms of trading or investing is definitely in the percentage, because the percentage is what kind of matters in the most part, in my opinion, because the percentage it's going to show you the growth, and the numbers can kind of mess with your head, because somebody could be trading a super big account and maybe they made 1%, but that 1% on their big account is going to be like 10 grand if they're trading like $1 million, you know? So if they're trading a 200k account, 1% is 2 grand, you know? So 1% to some people is very little, 1% to others is a lot. Now, you have to be comfortable with just learning the skill. That's something I wanted to talk about today too, is as long as you have the skill, if you mess up, you know over the long term that you're gonna be profitable. Having the skill is the most important thing. And you need to find someone, if you don't know how to trade, someone that can teach you the skill. There's plenty of mentors. There's me, all my free content, all my stuff that I put in the Telegram. There's so many people, and there's so many smart people that you can learn from, but there's also so many people that are just actually have no idea what they're talking about as well. So you have to be careful, but find someone or something that you can learn the skill from. It could be books, it could be a course, it could be a person, it could be YouTube videos, whatever it is. Just find some type of strategy that can build your skill. And the skill is like a couple things. The skill is your strategy, right? But then it comes down to your discipline, sticking to said strategy, proving that your strategy is profitable over time. Third thing is psychology, which kind of goes hand in hand with your discipline, but your psychology is mainly just not freaking out, trusting your strategy, and letting it play out. Not being greedy, not being fearful, you know, the emotional kind of side of things. And then after that, it's the final piece is just once you have mastered the skill, once you have your, and technicals, know your technicals, whatever your criteria is. I have a very good criteria for technicals, and sometimes In my mind, the technicals outweigh the data and the fundamentals. But know your technicals, whatever your criteria is for that. And then the last stage is just acquiring capital, because once you have the skill, you can literally trade any amount of money. It's no different. Well, it is different, but in reality, it's not that much different trading $1,000 as to trading $10,000. It's only a mental thing. Now, when you start to get to big money, it does become a bit different, because your positions and lot sizes, sometimes there's not enough liquidity to fill your orders, so you start breaking up your orders and stuff, but that's like something like way down the road. But for the most part, whether you're trading $10,000 or even $100,000, there's no difference except in the mind. You know, it's only a mental thing where it's like, oh my god, I'm risking so much money. That's why you need to think in terms of percentages, because when you think in terms of percentage, 1% is 1%. It's not, oh, I'm risking $100 now, and now I'm risking $1,000. Money-wise, it's different. Percentage-wise, not different at all. That's why thinking in terms of percentage can really change the perspective and not make you freak out. So that's something that's really important. But building the skill. Once you have the skill, you can acquire as much capital as you want, sticking to your strategy, sticking to your plan, and you can make as much money as you want. I'm not going to say the money is unlimited, because, I mean, it kind of is, but for most people, they don't want to take it to a level where it's like just millions and millions and millions of dollars, probably. You know, most people think they're like, I want to be like a fucking hedge fund manager, and it's like, no, you don't. Trust me. Maybe you do. Maybe some people do, but most people don't want that. It's pretty stressful. It gets a lot harder, and you're working with a lot more money, and you probably have a team. You have to break down your capital. You have people trading for you as well, so it's a lot more than most people think. But anyway, get the skill, and once you have the skill, you can acquire capital. Once you acquire capital, you can make whatever the fuck you want. So that's kind of how I've broken it down. That's how I understand it. But you need to master every aspect of trading first, and a lot of that comes through mastering yourself. So all these things are super, super important, and it comes over time through experience, taking losses, feeling that pain a bit. But if you find the right people, you can definitely cut that learning curve. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Found some value in that. It's just a quick recap for the week, dropping a couple little gems in there, sprinkling some gems in there. Learn the skill, it'll pay off, and you'll be profitable. Take your profits. I think that's just gonna be my fucking motto for like ever, is just take your profits, take your profits, take your profits, take your profits. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, gonna be a new video every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Social media, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course, subscribe, like, comment on this video. Helps a lot to get the video out there. Share it with your friends if you so choose. Thank you guys for watching. Hunter out.